I mean, that's just such a long name for a podcast.
Diminutive fag. Well, I can short it to dim fag.
I mean, it could play.
Yeah.
I don't know who your target demo is.
Why are we doing microphones? Why does everyone hold the microphones? Why isn't there like a boom operator here?
Because this is it. This is all I got. I have a ring light that doesn't light up, and then this.
Why isn't the ring light up?
Because it doesn't look good if you light it up.
So why do you have it?
Because it makes it stand.
Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, or else I put the table over there and I lean it on that
See,
shitty
I do live
stand.
comedy in front of real audiences with human beings and a stage. We don't have to worry about all these accoutrements.
Right. Where do you live again?
I live in Tennessee.
No, where in Tennessee?
I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah, it's the hotbed of comedy now.
Which
You
is
can laugh all you want.
it's
You should come and do a show.
I'm okay.
Are you?
Yeah. See how I'm living? I'm doing all right. You see how high my ceilings are? They're the size of the room.
These are, for New York standards, these are high ceilings. But,
This isn't
New York,
Chattanooga.
I live in Chattanooga, where cavernous.
Right. But my pipes are okay.
Yeah, what, are my pipes not okay?
I thought your pipes were leaking. Did you
Are you
not
talking
have
about my
that?
internal pipes? Oh, my building pipes.
Yeah.
No, the pipes are the only thing that works in the apartment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the apartment is problematic.
Yeah, and you bought that.
I bought it.
Good.
Ask me how much it was.
Can I guess?
Sure.
$450.
No, it was $420, which is why I bought it.
Oh, okay. That's very close.
The broker's name was Michael Jackson.
The broker's name was Michael Jackson.
Whitest guy I've ever seen.
Okay. Well, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah. Like the Michael Jackson from The Simpsons.
Okay.
He was like that white. And then he told me the apartment was $420. And I was stoned when I went to go look at it because I didn't think I was buying an apartment.
Right.
I'm like, your name is Michael Jackson and this apartment's $420? Sure, let's do it.
Good.
But as the comics who have been down to Chattanooga know, who have stayed with me, it is a source of constant stress. The floors aren't right and the drywall wasn't
They're on
right.
level.
How do you know about this?
Because I remember.
People talk?
No, because you call me
Oh.
and you'll go on for an hour.
Yeah, well, no,
By the way, you always call me when you're on your bike. Where are you taking
I'm not
this
on a
bike
bike anymore. Now I'm in a car. I'm in a car now. That's why I'm so fat now.
Well, you have the car problem.
Oh, the car as a whole. But sometimes I want to get away from my apartment problems. So I go and I sit in my car and I look at all those problems.
And then you go, well, Carvana.
The Carvana thing. Did I tell you I stole the car?
You stole the Carvana car?
Well, kind of. I held the car. Did I tell you all this?
I knew there was some sort of.
Is this recording? Are we doing
Yeah.
This is it.
This is some sort of
This
hot
is the
thing.
show.
We've been going for
Oh my goodness.
2 minutes and 47 seconds.
I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but Carvana it's supposed to be the easiest way to buy a car. It was not. And
well, it's a vending machine. It's a car vending machine.
yeah, it was I
Right.
got 2 Milky Ways, a Twix, and a
And a-
GTI.
Good.
And I think the Twix was bigger than the car that I'm driving. And so there was a lot of problems with the car. There were holdups, and I was accepting of it because of COVID and things were scarce and
Of
it was hard to
course.
get cars. And so after multiple problems with the website wasn't working. Oh, look at this. This is water.
Yeah, that was for you.
The website had some issues, so that held up the car purchase by a couple of weeks. And then there were problems getting the car to the level that they wanted to deliver it. And anyway, make a long story short, after weeks and weeks and weeks of delay, the guy delivering the car, he's the local Chattanooga guy, because it's not all at a vending machine. Sometimes they drive them to your house.
Oh, okay. So false advertising there.
Well, they do have vending machines.
But isn't that the whole fun to see the car come out of the vending
Yeah, but
machine?
you can't. What if you don't live near the vending machine?
Then I wouldn't even
Then
use
they
it.
bring-
I wouldn't use it if I lived by the vending machine. I would never use Carvana.
Why?
Because I'll go to a dealership.
You live in New York City. Where are you going to get a? Why? You
Well, I'm
wouldn't
not
be-
buying a car.
Okay, but if I went to Carvana because it's
Okay.
hard to get because I was sick of going on Craigslist and driving an hour to go look at some car that was all beat up. The Carvana had this 118 point inspection thing, whatever.
I like you're so gay. You're like the only way to buy a car off Craigslist.
That's where I got.
That's
all my
the only
sex.
place I could solicit.
Where else are you
things.
supposed to get a car from?
A dealership.
No, I'm not paying. I'm not going to a dealership.
Okay.
I can't. I don't have that. Well, I do. I mean, I have money, but I didn't want to spend it on that. Also, I'm a terrible driver. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a car.
Yeah.
Anyway, the guy delivering the car says, "Hey, I'm bringing you the car. I don't think you want this car." Which
He
is not-
told you
yeah.
it while in the car.
Yeah.
He called you to tell you
He
you don't
called
want
me
the
while
car.
I was delivering it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm on the way with the car, but I don't think you're going to want to take. I don't think you're going to want to accept this car." He's like, "I found rust on it, and like that's one of the major things we don't sell. We don't sell cars with rust." I was like, and he's like, "And the interior, not great." I'm like, "What? What?" So again, I'm trying to make a long story short. He's like, "Here are your options. We can give you your money back. We can find you another car and give you a discount, or we'll do everything we can do to get this car right. Like take off the part with the rust, check it for the rest of the replace it, but it could take weeks because right. And I said, all right, just get me I was doing Zanies. It was like a big deal for me. Nashville. It was a big deal to get this show. It took months to get booked on this thing. And I needed to get to Nashville. I'm like, listen, I need a car. I need a rental. Can you get me a rental car? And again, I'm not doing the whole story. But it's like, yeah, we're going to get you a rental car. He's like, and you can have the rental car until we get you your car, until you have your car.
Okay.
And then that guy disappeared.
He left.
Couldn't find him again.
Okay.
But the calls were all recorded. So I'm like, so now I'm speaking, like, then you wait 2 hours to speak to a supervisor. And I'm like, hey, are these calls recorded? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, go back. You know, I'm not even going to tell you my story. You listen to what I had to go through. And you call me back. And I was like, they're never going to do that. But then he called me back. He's like, I listened to the call. It's insane. It's insane that this guy did this because we don't do this. We don't give cars to people. Like,
right.
I don't know.
We're a class act. We're a vending machine.
We don't do that. He's like, but I'm going to get you a car so you can at least get to the show. So then I got the rental car.
You brought up the show on the call?
Yeah, I got to get the word out.
Okay, you really promoted this thing.
I don't have a podcast like you.
You have the money to do this.
I call customer service for every night.
Okay.
My flooring people, my drywall people. That's who's filling these shows.
Yeah, just working class Americans.
Just a bunch of blue collar people are like, why is he talking about being gay so much? So they gave me the car, and then I had the car, and I'm like, I'm not giving you this car back because it wasn't connected. It wasn't in my name, and they didn't know where I lived. They thought I was still living at the hotel. I already bought my home. So I'm like, what are they going to do? I have the car. So I just kept it because the guy's like, hey, listen, we can't give you a car until your car is ready. Like that guy, but I'll get you a car for your show so you can get to the Zany show.
This is a rental car.
Rental car that they went to Enterprise and got a car.
Okay.
And then I just never brought the car back for 6 weeks.
Wait, what? You just didn't bring it back.
I didn't bring it back. What were they going to do about it? So
it was only supposed to be for the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was until you received the car.
The original guy said until you receive the car.
Okay.
Then the other supervisor was like, this is insane because we don't do this. But he said it. So let's at least get you to the show. So we're going to get you this car for the show.
Okay.
And then I got to the show. I'm like, I'm not bringing this car back.
Right.
And that was it. And then the local guy was like, yeah, I'm with you. Like, fuck Carvana. Fuck corporate. So the local guy was on my side.
But I thought the local guy left.
No, that was the supervisor who left. It's very
is
convoluted.
A very messy story.
This is why I don't do podcasts. This is why no one invites me on. It's a very messy story. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have a car? Or do you not have a car?
I do have a car.
What kind of car do you have?
I have a GTI.
A Volkswagen?
Yeah, and I've driven into a ditch once, and I needed like real men to come and tow it out, and then I drove over a median a second time, and I've curbed the wheels quite a bit. I don't belong having a car. My friend made me a student driver sign that she wants me to put on the car.
That's funny.
But I want to put it on a school bus, which I think would be funnier.
Wait, put the student driving on the school bus?
On a school bus. I think it would be funny to see a school bus and it says student driver. I think it would be funny.
That's funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's a good bit. Well, you've done enough shticks around Manhattan to know what a good public bit is.
But I don't know what public transport bits are like for school kids. I don't know what school kids respond. Actually, I do. I'm fucking a lot. Not school kids, like college.
Bus drivers?
College kids. No, I'm fucking college kids.
You're banging college kids?
Yeah.
That's your demo now? I remember it used to be small, I don't know, like Filipino and black guys.
Mark Benjamin, I think you're thinking of.
Mark Benjamin's in the Filipinos?
No, well, Asians.
Really?
It's Filipino adjacent, right?
I can't see Mark with an Asian.
What are
They're
you
both very
about?
Small.
Mark loves Asians. Get him on.
I'm not saying he hates Asian people. I think he loves Asian people.
No, I mean he loves one gender of Asian people more than another. That's all.
Oh, wow.
Should we be talking about this?
So you're saying there's two genders?
Yeah, I'm in that camp. Which is why I moved to Tennessee. Fully embraced. I found my people.
That's how you know New York got too liberal when the gay Jew has to go, you know what? Enough.
I think about this a lot because I watch Archie Bunker, from All in the Family.
Of course.
And I look at what his views on gay people were, or Polacks, or black people, and it's so myopic and racist and small-minded.
That's what it is.
And I go, am I being that way? But at what? And maybe that's the burden of every generation as they age out of popular culture. They just don't understand what's going on around them. It is something I don't understand. I haven't experienced it. I don't I'm not saying there are only 2 genders, but I think Facebook says there's like 28 genders. We got to draw the line.
You're right. There needs to be more.
More.
I think so.
So everyone's their own gender.
Sounds about right.
Why not?
It's a spectrum, right?
Everyone has their own reality. Everyone has their own gender. Everyone has their own set of facts. There's no shared reality. There's no shared lexicon anymore.
No, this is the metaverse.
No, the metaverse. Don't go in the metaverse.
Yeah, this is it. No, I don't have to because we're already in it.
No, I think this is a real reality that we are rapidly leaving behind to deteriorate and crumble. And the only people left in it will be poor people.
Be comics. Still promoting their shows.
Yeah, comics whistling in the wind.
Still posting into the void.
Yeah.
As long as there's posters to be made, comics will be alive.
Yeah. Thank God for Canva.
For real. Is New York how you I remember I texted you and then you called me. You were with Steve Malloy.
I was with Steve
Is
Malloy.
New York how... What have you forgotten about New York? What have you forgotten about New York that you came back and you're like, that's it?
The smell. There's certain smells that just hit you. And I took a subway one time, man lying face down, spread out on the floor, and just the nobody caring. No one's seeing if he's okay.
Well,
that wouldn't happen in Chattanooga, I don't think.
Well, yeah. Let's first.
It's very Christian.
Let's work on building trains into the ground first in Chattanooga. Then we'll worry about how.
It's weird because Chattanooga is known for the choo-choo, yet there's no trains.
Is that what they're known for?
Well, the Chattanooga choo-choo. It's that song. You don't know the song?
I'm not familiar with the song.
You don't know the Chattanooga choo-choo song?
No. Why would I know? What's the Chattanooga choo-choo
It's like a big
song?
band song. You don't know big band?
Oh, I don't know what big band is.
I don't know.
What the fuck are you talking about? How long have you lived there?
I've been there 2 years. I love it. You should come down and do a show, not on a couch, in front of real human beings, on a stage. This is an intervention. We each wrote you a letter. Hold on. Letters from all your friends.
Are people going to start coming into the apartment?
I think you should be out doing comedy.
Listen,
Are we not supposed to talk about this?
It'd be fun.
Are we cutting this out?
I hate... Well, I was talking about with Jason. And by the way, what's Jason's last name last night?
Jason Choi?
Not Choi.
What are you talking about?
Shorter.
Jason David.
Jason David. That's
Very
his
funny
last
guy.
name. Very funny guy.
He's come down to the show twice and murdered.
He's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking.
You know, he's only been doing it like a short amount of time.
Probably 3-4 years.
That's
if I were to
crazy.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
Mm.
We were talking about it, and we both agreed that stand-up comedy, very fun.
Uh-huh.
Everything else, once you get off that stage, is the worst.
That's everything. If you're a doctor, if you're a surgeon, you probably love performing surgery. The bureaucracy around healthcare, that's the same as what we have to deal with. Every job has that garbage. Advertising can be a lot of fun, and then the things that surround it and the people you have to deal with, terrible.
Yeah, but then at least you get paid.
I think you can make money doing comedy. You're very talented.
Oh, I think so too. It's not through stand-up.
Who knows? It won't be if you don't go out and do stand-up.
Oh, I did it for 8 years. It wasn't happening.
Yeah, that's right. So you should just stop.
I won't stop. But I'm not doing it 3-4 times a night every night again. That was completely useless.
Well, I mean, maybe you should explore a place like Chattanooga.
No.
Okay.
I have no interest in that.
Why? You've never even been. Why don't you come down and do a show? Just do a show.
Because I have no interest.
I
have no interest to just do a show.
But you just said that you love the being on the stage, and that's the fun thing.
Right.
And I'm going to remove all the other parts that you don't like. You don't have to be with people you don't enjoy. It's not going to be a mic. It's a show. You'll be treated like a king.
Yeah, but
make some money. It's a
yeah,
little
but
vacation.
I make enough
Come
money
down
now.
All right, fine. Don't do stand-up. What can I tell you?
You know, I'm trying to do stand-up without having to be around it.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, you want to try a long-distance relationship with stand-up?
No, because I want to see stand-up.
Uh-huh. All right, so you want to be a fan.
I want to just not be in the scene. I want to do it and not be in the scene.
That doesn't work that way, man.
It's like I want to be thin but not exercise.
I don't know why I'm trying to get you back in it. The fewer people in it, the better it is for me. So stay out, I guess.
Well, in Chattanooga, there's few.
Chattanooga's got a healthy scene. Why?
Mentally healthy or healthy? Because that's the problem with all this, is the mental health aspect of all these people.
Well, that's what's fascinating is it's the same types of mentally ill people circle around the light like moths in every city.
It's insane
Yeah.
what this draws.
Yeah.
Do you think it always drew this type of crowd though? Like in Seinfeld's day,
No.
what do you think has made stand-up so like?
Well, it became ubiquitous. It became there became Comedy Central, where there was 24-hour comedy and everybody was putting comedy on. It seemed like, oh, I could do that. And the barrier to entry is so low. All you need is a microphone. I mean, all you need is a karaoke machine if you want.
Right.
You don't really need anything, and anyone could self-proclaim themselves a stand-up comedian. As far as like a pianist, it's pretty clear pretty quickly if you can't play piano, you know.
Right, as long as you could just form sentences. But some comics can't form sentences.
That's true. It gives all of comedy a bad name. But, you know, what can you do?
You gotta go on TikTok.
I'm not going on TikTok.
I see.
I'm not going because I told myself Vine would be the last thing, and that was the last thing.
That's so. Is it?
What?
We talked about this last episode where you're kind of like the Amish, where it was just one day where they're like, you know what? This is it.
Yeah.
This is the last day.
Huh?
Any technology advancement handed in by today.
Yeah.
So you cut it off at Vine.
I did.
Why?
Because it's always going to change, and there's always going to be a new thing, and then you got to build a whole bunch of followers. And TikTok seemed kind of ludicrous to me when I saw everybody had millions of followers. It's giving
doesn't
you
make
the
sense.
sense of fame without the work that is required to be famous.
Right.
And I don't think everybody should be so widely distributed. So, you know, Warhol was right. Everybody's famous now for 15 minutes. And on some level, there's great creativity out there. It's just not for me. I had a talent agent get in touch with me today. He was at the show, and he's like, how come you don't have a presence on TikTok? How come your YouTube videos don't even have views? I'm like, I've been viral. I've gone viral, not for stand-up comedy, for other things.
For your public art.
Yeah,
stuff.
for public art, and I could probably pull those same levers to make my comedy get surfaced. I mean, not the same levers. It would be different. But I put no energy into it because I don't think I'm good enough to be seen by millions of people yet. I don't want to be seen by millions of people yet. I'm only 5 years into comedy. So, and I see people we both know who these people are. There are people who are parading around their mental illness as an act.
Well, yeah.
And it's being applauded by millions of strangers. And I don't think that's helping young comics or unseasoned comics fine-tune their antenna. I think it's like sirens pulling you to the rocks. And it's not really helping you develop material that's appropriate for a 30, 40, 50 hour-long set, you know.
40, 50 hour long set.
Minute set.
That'd be good. Everyone's got to be Chappelle. Just go
Yeah.
into a club and do 40 hours.
I'm here from Monday to Friday, one set. You know.
Yep. Oh, boy. Wait.
What happened? What was that?
I'm nervous about
Are those
my...
listeners? Are they calling in? What happened?
No, we're good.
All right. Fantastic.
Okay.
All right. What did you want to talk about?
I don't know. I just go, baby.
Oh, we just go?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like,
No, you got to get on TikTok.
I'm not. I
You
have
gotta.
an account. I
Yeah,
don't
just
have to.
watch it. It's fine.
I do. I watch what people share from TikTok on Instagram.
It's a good time.
Now, how much time you spend a day on TikTok? Be honest.
A good amount.
More than
I'll
3
be
hours?
honest. Maybe not. Maybe not that.
Mostly in bed?
Yeah.
Girls shaking their asses?
No, not as much. It's a hodgepodge of things, and they get me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I keep watching.
But you know how they're getting you.
It's like it is girls dancing, but it's also like autistic people enjoying things that they like. I never thought, but it's good. It brings joy to me.
Okay.
Again, it's Native Americans dancing.
Okay.
Great. I don't understand why
No.
that they think this applies to me, but it does.
Well,
And I
they
keep
know.
watching.
They know.
Because it's China.
Yeah.
They're good.
Oh, very good.
They're very good at
Yeah.
this.
They've infiltrated. They got it. Yeah, they know what you want before you want it. It's all being very, surgically released levels of dopamine to your brain.
Great.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Great.
It's just going to get worse from here on in.
Yeah.
So you might as well just jump on the train, Jeff. 'Cause guess
You
what?
sound like me 5 years ago. I'm telling you, the world's in a terrible state of decline. And
Right, but you're not enjoying the way down.
I am. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, but if you were on TikTok, you'd have
I would
a
not.
better time.
I would not.
Yes, you could find like good Vietnamese spots
I
in
would-
New York.
Listen, if I were on TikTok, I never would have driven my car into a ditch and met this tow truck driver. We had a great conversation.
Wait, what?
When I drove my car into a ditch.
If you weren't on
If I were on TikTok, I'd be on my bed scrolling. I wouldn't be out in my car driving around like a maniac.
No,
I'm getting out of the house. You got to get out of the house.
TikTok's not heroin. You can still go about doing
It's
things.
not. All right.
Well,
I don't know.
no one does heroin in, gets 40,000
You know what I
followers.
think your viewers would love, or listeners? Are they viewers or listeners?
Half and half.
All right. Let's book you on a show right now. Let's get a date for you on the calendar for Chattanooga right now. Why don't you come down with Ilya Laxon?
With Ilya?
Yeah.
Is Tom coming down anytime soon?
I don't know. Tom?
Yeah.
Tobago Tom?
Tobago Tom?
Tom Luciano?
Tom Luciano.
You're supposed to go to Tobago with me to Ilya Laxon's wedding.
Oh, yeah, that didn't work
I
out.
sat next to an empty seat.
You went to Ilya Laxon's wedding solo in Trinidad and Tobago. And the great part of that is you're not that close with him.
No. I think Ilya only invited us because we're the only people who had jobs that could afford to go to Tobago.
Yeah, that might be it.
But I like Ilya. I didn't
love Ilya.
get to spend that much time with him because it was his wedding, but I met his friends.
Right.
That was very cool.
Well, you met his cousin.
Oh, he told you?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. What did he say?
He said you were into his cousin. Or her cousin.
No.
Someone's cousin.
Yeah.
Was he brown or white?
In between.
Oh. Probably her cousin then.
He's young.
That doesn't
Yeah,
mean
I think he
anything
was
to
like
me.
20. Yeah. I got a bit of a skew young.
You skew young.
Yeah. I don't think it's cancelable. I mean, I'm not big enough to be cancelable.
No, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, college kids? It's not cancelable.
I don't know. It's not a great look, though.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm 51.
So?
Mm.
You're doing stand-up comedy in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Mhm.
So who cares?
No. I had a threesome recently. It was a lot of fun.
Well, it's that couple that you met at the show.
Yeah, I don't want them to. Yeah, don't. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Cut
Yeah.
it. Clip it.
Yeah, it was fun. They're young. They're married. They're 24 and 25, and they're married. What?
This
Yeah,
is
I don't get it.
why did gays fight so hard to get the right to be married?
They wanted to go into the army and get married. The two most limiting institutions.
They're so stupid. You
Gays?
had it right.
You're calling gays stupid?
For those two reasons, yes.
You're gay. Well, I think the marriage thing was a interesting political maneuver to get a heteronormative society to see them as equals to them.
Okay.
I don't know if that many gay people truly wanted to be married. And now, I mean, I don't know. I haven't polled them, but I do know that young gay people who grew up and came up as being gay, who were born in the 90s or whatever, and they're knots, they don't have an idea that men couldn't be married. So it seems like something that's been sold to them the way marriage has been sold to them. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
I think very few people should be getting married.
in general.
Yeah, because how many people really find their soulmate? It's insane. But it's a industry. You know?
It's a huge industry.
Yeah. So you got to get these people married, and the whole system, through tax incentives, the whole system is pushing you and edging you towards getting married and reproducing.
I do encourage people to game the system.
And not get married and not have kids?
No, if you get married, you can game the system. Insurance, citizenship.
I think you can have insurance as roommates now, though, right? Domestic.
What?
I think if you live in the same apartment.
Maybe
you
in
could
Chattanooga. What the hell are you talking about?
No, I think if two people live in the same home, they can be on each other's insurance.
That's not true.
I think it might be true.
After how long?
I think you could say you're domestic partners of some sort.
There's no way that's true.
I might be wrong. But
we're going to have to look this up.
Do we have a fact checker here?
No, we don't have a Jamie.
Who's Jamie?
From Rogan.
Oh, I don't watch Rogan. Although I defended him and then I got dragged for defending him.
Yeah. Because, again, you're trying to tell comics. They're done. You can't. They're broken.
I was really
minds are
disappointed.
broken.
Comics who I thought were really smart
They're not.
wrote to me and told me how terrible I was. I remember I just had written, I was like, I had some tweet, said, so let me get this straight. People are upset that they're banning graphic novels in Tennessee, but they want Joe Rogan deplatformed. Can someone explain the left to me like I'm a child, the way Dr. Seuss would? Oh, wait, he's been canceled.
Right. And
comics, they're like, yeah, this is what you're trying to defend, and he's literally killing people. I'm like, he's not. It's a conversation. If your ideas about science can't withstand an open conversation, then that's troubling. It's like when people who are really secure in their religious beliefs don't mind when you argue with them.
Right.
because they were secure in their belief. So,
At any point, did you realize, like, I'm arguing with people that are homeless?
I'm not talking about those people. These are actually smart people. I'm not going to mention names. These are people who have jobs, and they're like...
They have jobs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them are making money doing comedy. They're like legit past comics on TV.
Well, that doesn't mean...
Okay,
I've learned
sure.
that doesn't mean you make money. I have learned that.
These are intelligent people who I think are just too woke, too much in the bubble of the New York... Here's... And Nick Tillelli have talked about this, that... I think New York presents itself, or at least I thought it has this image of being open-minded, left, liberal, accepting of everybody's different nuances of how they interact with the world and contact the world, whether it be through their gender or their sexuality, whatever. There's all this spectrum of thinking and being, unless it's on certain topics where you must think the same way we think.
Yes.
And like the vaccine has been a great example of that. And it's just interesting to me, as a guy who worked at Facebook, to watch people propagate these messages with their own memes that they've made, they're just being loudspeakers for a pharmaceutical establishment and a government establishment.
Yep.
And they don't have the facts themselves, but they're so quick to spread this information without knowing anything. And I'm sure they're all doing it with the intention of being good people.
Right.
But if you question any of it, if you put out something that's alternate to it, I've had people say, "Oh, so what? You're a Trumper now? You got a gun now?" I go, "Huh? What? Because I'm saying that the 6 feet thing apart might be complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah.
You like hiding under a desk during a nuclear blast. Like, I mean, okay, 6 feet apart. All right.
You don't talk about the Facebook stuff that much.
On stage, you mean?
Ever.
I do.
You do?
Well, I'm talking more about it. I mean, I should have talked more about it last night because there were a bunch of people from Facebook there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's
they've all left. They've all left the company. Yes, they've all left.
They got their shares and then they left.
Yes.
Yeah.
They stayed much longer. I mean, there were some influential people in the audience last night.
What? Now you're starting to talk about it because it's by far the most interesting thing about you.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You don't think my sweater is?
That one?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I don't think where someone works is the most interesting thing about that.
No, if you worked, at Con Ed, it wouldn't be that interesting. If you worked at a hospital, maybe a little.
I've got a few. I have a few jokes about it. I guess I have to explore it more. I mean, I have the jokes about the privacy, and I have the jokes about my interactions with Zuck, and I have I've tried to write this new joke about when I worked at Facebook, it was right after the Arab Spring. And so the revolution in the Middle East, which was organized on Facebook. A lot of these are organizations that were air quotes, pro-democracy, revolutionary groups were using Facebook to coordinate and then overthrow and have a revolution. So it's called the Arab Spring. So when I and the group of people that were hired at the same time I was at Facebook, when we were being indoctrinated into the orientation, a lot of it was like, and look at the great things we do for the world. We contributed to the Arab Spring. I mean, this is not the bit. This is very...
Right.
But I was like, yeah, they talk all about their contributions to the Arab Spring, but they don't ever talk about their contributions to the American Fall. So, that's what I was trying to get to. But it's, I don't know what else to really talk about working there. I only worked there for a year. What do you want to know? Tell me what you want to know about Facebook. Let's see if there's anything funny.
It's just, you were so on the inside. You weren't an executive, but you were very near that.
Well, the company was smaller. Like, you had access to Mark.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Do you realize how insane that is?
Yeah, there was a couple of times when I worked there because, listen, Mark wasn't even the most interesting person there.
He probably isn't.
There are other people who were working. He hired the best, from every discipline that he wanted. When he wanted to have a sushi restaurant, he just hired the chef from the best sushi restaurant, had him leave and open up a restaurant on campus. When he wanted muralists, he hired, these great artists, and they came and they painted. And my group was a bunch of designers and alternative thinkers, and we were there to we thought we were being hired to be the internal ad agency branding development arm of Facebook. Turned out that's not what happened, but we were there to keep Facebook tethered to a humanistic approach, and that was not what was of interest to any of the people who were calling the shots at Facebook.
What do you mean a humanistic approach?
How do people feel? What's their sentiment? How do they feel when they use Facebook? How do they feel after they use Facebook? What can we do to increase those positive feelings?
So you wanted them to reflect on how they've been interacting on the platform.
How could Facebook be a positive force in the world?
Oh boy, did that not work out?
Our group was dissolved.
That really fell out. Now I understand why you were there for a year.
Yeah, just for a year.
Oh boy. So then, I guess what was the problem? Like, why did this app that was really created to rate women that you were too nervous to
That's not
approach?
what Facebook was. That was what Face Smash was, right?
It was the initial concept of the platform.
Okay. Anyway, I was there way after that, but go ahead.
I know.
Okay,
But like, how did it turn into this political?
The newsfeed.
Right.
Because there wasn't a newsfeed. There wasn't a timeline. There wasn't a newsfeed at the beginning. It was just a wall. You had your wall. It was more. It's
like MySpace.
It was more akin to MySpace. When I got there, so the team that I was on helped the communications launch for Timeline, which is where you had this long scroll of your life, where you would post more than just post, but like life events and
ideas articles and
all those things. How did it go off the rails? I mean, I wasn't privy to all the things that made it go off the rails.
But in your opinion,
I think it fed people a mirror only. I think it reflected back at people just themselves, and it made them go into a rabbit hole of themselves. I think Mark has successfully made the world as autistic as he is.
Now that's funny. That's a good punch. But then why is
everybody lives in their own world of one?
But then why is the TikTok algorithm?
The TikTok? You sound very old when you say the TikTok. Oh, the TikTok algorithm.
Yeah, the TikTok algorithm.
Okay. I'm on a TikTok.
Because I guess the problem with TikTok is that it invades your phone privacy, like data from other apps.
I don't know.
Rather than Facebook, that's kind of infiltrating your mind or your subconscious.
Well, I mean, I don't know how TikTok operates, except that I know that they chart every single thing from how many milliseconds you spend on a video to when you swipe to what at what point did you swipe out of it, and they know what that content is. So more tits jiggling, more hedgehogs. Do you like hedgehogs?
I like hedgehogs.
They're good.
They're cute.
Yeah.
I don't get that many on my timeline. I get a lot of dogs.
I'm embarrassed by my timeline on but what is it? The Discovery page on Instagram. It's a mess. It's just
weird.
all dudes because I just
really?
it's dudes working out because it inspires me.
It inspires you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when I did the threesome, I took some of this Blue Chew because I was nervous.
Okay.
Because I'm not usually with two people at once. And I was like, I should probably just prime the pump a little bit and get that in there. But they wanted to do poppers. Now you can't do poppers with Blue Chew.
I'm very unfamiliar with the
yeah, I know, because
with the popper
you're so
world.
straight. You know what it is, though.
I think, isn't it like...
what do you think it is?
Yeah, what do I think it is? Well, because I remember you telling a story once that you went to a video store and they wouldn't let you buy it.
Yeah.
And then when you're like,
Same
oh,
thing
can I
happened.
walk out and come back in and do it?
Yeah. They wanted me to call a VCR cleaner.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So is that... So, yeah, I guess I don't know what it is.
It's a little... You ever
It's a
see...
can.
It's a little glass jar.
Okay.
And you've seen it at bodegas and head shops. It says Rush or Jungle Juice. You ever see these things?
I'm sure if I
I
saw
have
it in
some.
person.
And
Well, I assume always.
and you open it and you huff it and you get a sense of euphoria for about 30 seconds to a minute, but it also loosens your muscles, including your sphincter, which is why a lot of gay guys use it. But you can't take that with anything like Viagra or Cialis because you could have a heart attack. So these guys wanted me to take it, and I didn't want them to know that I was on the chew.
Oh.
So I took a little bit. I was very nervous. I was like, oh. It would be cool if it said he died doing what he loved. I thought that would be really funny.
That's funny. So it relaxes you for 30 seconds.
Until the dick goes in there. And there.
Yeah, well, then
I wasn't getting
tightens.
fucked. But actually, no, I did. I think I did get fucked on that one.
Okay.
Wait, can we get that? I mean,
Listen, it's what it is. It's what's going
listen,
on.
if you buy a ticket, you ride the ride.
If you buy a ticket, you ride the ride.
Right.
Is that what you tell guys? When you bring them back, you bought a ticket, you ride the ride.
I was like, hey, it's a threesome. Whatever they want to do, I'm down. I'm down to go. I'm down. These are two 24-year-olds. Whatever they want to do, I'm down.
A 3-male threesome.
Yeah, I'd like to have a girl and a guy. If there's anybody out there that wants to come to Chattanooga.
You would like the girl.
Yeah, but they can't talk too much. If they talk, it really takes me out of it.
Is that why
terrible?
you're gay?
I think if women didn't speak, I could be straight.
So you're you're straight in like Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I would be plowing posts.
Yeah.
Is that what you do? You plow the posts?
Okay,
I'd be
yes.
cramming the post, whatever you do, pounding it, smashing it. Yeah. But the talking, no.
You use all the verbs that Bop It uses. Like I twist it, pull it, bop it.
Yeah. Is that a misogynistic viewpoint to say if women didn't speak?
Probably, but if you're
I
gay,
could fuck
who
the
cares?
hell out of them. Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
I guess you're allowed to
Some
be
of these guys aren't great
misogynistic.
talkers either. It's really not like women have dominion over being terrible talkers.
You know what I've noticed about gays? There's not many autistic gays.
Oh, that's.
Oh, is that?
No,
am
I know
wrong
one.
with this?
I know one.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like him actually. He doesn't like me.
No,
We met on Grindr
I assumed.
and we're friends. He's like, hey, I'm not attracted to you, but we live close to each other, so we should hang out. And
That's a pretty autistic thing to say.
He's full on autistic.
But I appreciate the
Yeah.
honesty.
He comes to the shows.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a Tennessee
Yeah.
autistic gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't really diagnose either of those things down there.
Being Tennessean.
Yeah. being autistic or gay.
I would drive him to his ketamine treatments.
I'm sorry?
Oh, you can get ketamine treatments down in Tennessee.
What?
Ketamine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Injections.
Treatments?
IV. Yeah. Which
For
is something
what?
I almost did before. I mean, I didn't. It's hard to get it done in New York. You have to be, I think, terminally ill to
A
get.
ketamine yeah, so what's the...
It's for depression.
They
it's supposed to really
inject
work,
you with
yeah.
ketamine.
Yeah, I know 3 people have done it, and I've seen a pretty miraculous change in them.
And their insurance covers this?
I don't know if it does, but I think it's $2,000
A treatment.
altogether. I think it's $6 for 2,000. I think.
6 for 2,000?
I'm not depressed right now. I'm sure I will be again, and I am depression, and when it hits, and each time it hits a bit harder, and the next one I'll either be dead or it'll be a treatment like this.
Right, you'll do another special.
I don't know about that. I haven't done a special. What are you talking about?
Oh, another, I would say last night. You could make the argument.
Hey, was it all right?
It was fun.
Nah, you didn't like it.
I liked it.
Nah. What? Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I didn't get to see everyone, or maybe I did see everyone. The only person I really listened to was you and Taleli. So
Okay.
Nick
did really well.
Nick did very well. I think some people loved him and some people didn't.
But that's great.
That's true. It's exciting.
I'd be concerned if everybody liked everything that came out of Nick
That's
Delori's
true.
mouth.
That'd be concerning.
Wow, I'm friends with garbage people.
Well, yeah,
he's one of the funniest people I know.
Next one, yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I didn't know the Indian guy.
Vinod Prue.
Yeah.
Very funny. Did I do it right?
Did you say his name right?
No, did I do all right?
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Is
did
that right?
well.
I mean, better than when I was here before?
Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to improve.
So, yeah.
You know,
if you came back and you were the same, that'd be a problem.
Well, Mia Faith Hammond, she warned me before I left. She's like, don't become a road hack.
That's the risk you run. But, you also got to do what makes you happy.
Yeah, I'm happier than I've ever been. I don't. It's very unusual. I didn't expect to be living in Tennessee or any of this stuff.
And you're not working for that.
I don't work for anybody.
No, you're doing what was
Human
that agency? Yeah.
Didn't you do the brand roast?
I loved it.
You got another one. We'll get you to do another one.
Let me know. That was a great time.
Your viewers / listeners don't know what a brand roast is.
No, but because with Goose Island, I did Goose Island.
That's right.
Did they ever make that beer?
No, well, I don't think they did, but they loved the idea. So your insight. So basically, these brand roasts, or we had a bunch of comedians who would get a brief for a brand, and they would spend about a week. They had a week to write jokes that were based on truths that they felt were truths that they think they had discovered about the brand.
Yes.
Which are really ways of finding insights that you could do advertising off of.
Right.
So you write these jokes, then we spend an hour on a Zoom, we record the Zoom, we edit the hour-long Zoom down to a 6 to 9 minute video. Nobody sees the video except the ad agency and the client. And then through these, it's pretty much like a focus group of very smart, wise asses.
Yeah.
And I think one of your insights was Goose Island is the beer for people who like Blue Moon but don't want their dads to know they're gay.
Yeah, that was
Right? Something like that. And everyone loved that. And then through that, we're like, what if now, a lot of these craft beers, they just make new labels. Like they just go, here's the beer. They change the flavor a little bit, and they go, now it's this limited edition, whatever beer.
Right.
So we're like, let's just make a Dad I'm Gay beer, which was that your idea, or is that what the agency's idea was?
That's what the agency's idea was.
So they presented, like, they mocked up these bottles that said Dad I'm Gay, and it's the beer that you'll have with your
really?
dad.
They did? Like, they went to that extent?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just mock it up, like, on a PDF, you know. And I think LGBT. I think there was some idea of making a 6-pack of LGBTQ plus.
How do I know the slogan more than you?
I don't know.
All right.
I think you're obsessed with gay stuff because you're dad.
Yeah.
Human Out, I do some stuff with them. They're a production company in Tennessee, an ad agency production company. But now I do most of my stuff with Steve Malloy. Who's
The
a great,
king.
The king?
The king.
He's a king.
I would say Steve Malloy's a young king.
A young king.
Yeah.
Isn't that a prince? And we write together, and we just got some commercial scripts sold. We're going out to LA to shoot with this guy, Hank Perlman, who created This Is Sports Center, that whole campaign, which was really very funny. So he was a very funny comedy director. And so the only ad stuff I do is now just only comedy. If it's not comedy, I'm not really a part of it for the most part.
What? So you're flying out to LA to work with the This Is Sports Center guy, but I guess in what capacity?
He's the director of the scripts that we wrote. And then the ad agency.
Oh, so he does commercial directing.
He probably does movies too, but he's doing these.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's gonna
That's
be
sick.
And we're meeting with the guy. We're friends with the guy who created Workaholics. This guy Dominic Russo, and we met him when we were working out in LA last time. And it would be great to. I know Steve's been working on a pilot, and I think he's been getting some feedback from Dominic on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one's Dominic? He was the dealer?
He wasn't in it. He just created it.
Oh.
Yeah. You're less impressed now, huh?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to be in it?
I don't know. Maybe
I
he's
never
not a good actor.
understood
I don't
that.
know. Maybe he's not a good actor.
Yeah, but if you create something that great, as great as Workaholics is, you want to make... Larry David made cameos.
Oh, and Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Very limited, sparingly.
He was Steinbrenner.
He was Steinbrenner in later episodes. He's at a bodega.
He's in a bodega. He's on the TV yelling at the UFO.
Yep.
He's in the Cape. He's the Cape
He's
man.
the voice on the plane. You get my kosher meal.
Yep.
Where else is he? I probably know all of them. I watch it every day.
You watch it every day?
Every day.
It is the best show ever made.
I think so.
It's not
It
even
makes
a
me feel like I
debate.
have people over when I put it
Because
on.
of the conversation?
Yeah, I just keep it on the background.
Why don't you listen to a podcast?
No, like this?
You're anti-pod?
Yeah,
Dude.
I am.
How are you a comic and anti-pod?
Whether I'm a comic is questionable or not. I'm anti-pod.
Nah.
Love the pod.
Love a pod.
I don't
You
know.
take a pod. It's great. It's
I know people listen to them on
pipes.
double speed, one in
The
each ear.
double speed people are the worst. What are you trying to prove?
They're trying to cram a lot of pods in, man.
Dude, yeah. People are listening to audiobooks. I know a guy listens to audiobooks at 4X. What are you taking in?
I don't know.
Like, how do you even understand what they're saying? It's like Latin at that point.
What pods are you watching or listening to?
I'm a big comedy pod guy.
Like who?
Dylan.
Very funny guy.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he's lost his mind.
Oh, completely. But oh boy, is it fun.
Oh, he's a gem.
He's a gem. I've challenged him to fight me before, and I haven't heard back.
Why will he not fight you?
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't know. That's the community. It's all people that
This
just
is
say
your
things.
community.
No, I want to be
These
out
are-
of the
but
community.
You're not. You're having them come into your apartment and sit on your couch.
I know, and I'm trying to find people not a part of the community to come
Who
sit
the
on
hell
the
is going to
couch.
come into this apartment who's not in the community and talk to you?
I'm finding out no one.
So then get out there.
I hate them.
Listen, life's terrible. Just get out there and enjoy it.
That's you're going to pitch that to This Is Sports Center guy?
Yeah.
Life is terrible. Enjoy
it. Yeah. I feel like you are robbing people of your talent by not being on stage.
I would love to be on stage. I personally cannot tolerate the scene.
Right, but the scene is not in Chattanooga. I'm giving you stage time in Chattanooga where you won't have to have any of that, and you can experience the thrill of people applauding you and be like, oh, what he's saying is funny. Why can't you come down and have that experience?
Because I'm not doing comedy for that.
What are you doing
For the
it
applause.
What are you doing it for? A
and-
career move?
That's what I was doing it for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did I realize quick that that's not how it works.
You're very talented. I'm sure you can find a way to make it work.
Well, I'll do like the advertising stuff. I like the pod. TikTok's doing all right.
You make money with that?
With either of these? No.
Yeah. So,
Dude, sales now. I make good
Sales.
money doing sales. You make these people. It's just crowd work.
Yeah, I guess.
That's all this is.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, how are you so good so quick? I'm like, because I've done this at midnight every night for 5 years.
So you're going to come down with Ilya Laxon. Is that what we decided?
Maybe not Ilya.
Why not Ilya? Are you going to bleep him?
No,
You leave
Ilya I
his name
keep
in?
in.
You leave his
Ilya I
name in.
keep in.
All right.
Ilya I keep in.
Okay.
He's been on the pod before. He's
Okay.
a friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah.
FOP.
He's an FOP, friend of the
Okay.
pod.
All right.
We'll see.
What?
We'll say.
You want to come down after he comes back? Who would you feel most comfortable coming down with? Hardy?
No, because I have to pay for everything.
Come with Luch.
Maybe the
Who do you
Luch, me, Ilya Luch.
What about Nick? Nick's going to come back.
Nick?
John
Hi.
and Joda's coming back.
What's John and Joda up to?
He's very funny.
He's very funny. I should have him on the pod.
Yeah. Maybe he could be an FOP.
I think he's already in FOP.
Really? He hasn't even been here.
I know.
I can't believe I got asked.
Well, you're in town.
Every time I see this thing, I'm like, if I get on that couch, I'm going to tell him how dumb it is to be on this goddamn fucking couch. He needs to get out into the world, onto a stage.
Now look at you.
Who would have thought that Neil Rubenstein would have been the happier one between you two?
No, I'm doing fantastic.
All right.
In terms of happiness.
All right.
In terms of comedy.
No.
Yeah, not that much. But to your point, like, is that the correct thing? Is his approach correct? Just going on the road every single day and hitting a new city? It might be.
If it
makes you happy or make him happy.
I think it's making him happy. He's very transparent about his ups and downs on social media.
Right. I know that's not right for me.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, I can't do that. I went to open mics after the pandemic ended, or I guess
I thought you were running a show at the
even-
Soho Playhouse. What happened with that?
I was running a show at Barrow Street Ale House.
Oh, Barrow Street Ale House. What happened with that?
We needed tables, and the guy said no. And we're like, okay, we'll just buy the tables ourselves. And he said no, because I don't know when I'll be here to get the delivery.
Like little small tables to put cocktails on?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, okay, well, can we get chairs? And he said no again. Don't know my schedule for that.
So it's just an empty room with no furniture?
Bingo. No, sometimes there were ladders, and then sometimes there was plywood, and then sometimes there were bicycles. And so it was really just what are you going to get on that day?
Why don't you're gonna hate what I'm gonna say.
No, to go.
Why don't you run a show at the Climate Lounge?
Well, it's banned. Comedy's banned.
I think it's gonna come back. I talked to Peter the other day.
I hate him.
Are you gonna bleep that out?
No, because I actually dislike him.
He's been good to me.
He's probably the worst businessman in the world.
If you'd like to do a show, he's got a room and chairs, which I've put in there.
Right. You just have to do everything.
You can set boundaries.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I did.
Because you need to be your own security promoter.
Well, you have to set boundaries with him.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to. He called me recently and he was like, because I heard everything was falling apart, and I was like, what is happening? And he's like, why can't people do it the way you did it? When you did it, there was never a problem. I go, you had a problem with me every week.
Yeah.
Do you not remember? He doesn't remember the bad things. He only remembers the good things. So I was in there the other day. They got their liquor license. Eduardo was there.
That's nice.
Looser pants. Still tight.
Not for you.
Not for me. What do you think about that?
You preferred the tight pants.
I prefer him
Well,
in
no
any
pants.
kind of no pants. Would
Yeah,
be the
that
best
would be ideal
pants
for you.
He's an attractive young man, and they were testing out new drinks, and I think he worked everything out with Rio. I mean, I said to him, I go, how can you have a problem with Rio Hayashi?
Nice guy.
Nobody's has a problem. If you're having problems with Rio Hayashi, you need to reevaluate how you're interacting with people.
Right.
Because he's a pretty easy guy to get along
He's a
with.
very nice Japanese man.
Yes. Yeah, and pretty mild mannered.
I would say.
And he told me that they had these very animated arguments, and I was like, I think you might want to be pulling back from how aggressive you are if you're fighting with Rio Hayashi.
Yeah. Something tells me that guy's not going to change.
Yeah, most people don't.
Yeah. But it goes to your point that I have learned that like Barrow Street Ale House is a very successful bar.
Mm-hmm.
the owner's incompetent. So how are if you're struggling, how stupid are you?
I've had some really difficult times with venues. It's weird. The Boat Chattanooga is a dream. I mean, you haven't been down there yet, but maybe you've heard from some of your friends.
I've heard a lot of good things.
And then there were two other venues I was working with. One was this place called the Common House, which is like a Soho House type place in Chattanooga.
Okay.
And they were terrible to me. I'm a member there, and I will actively tell people that they were terrible to their members. They dropped the ball so many times. It was embarrassing. They were making me look bad in front of my colleagues. And, I was like, how hard you're in the hospitality industry. How hard is it to
be hospitable?
To do the three, it is very low maintenance. So it's like lights down, music up, make the room cold, give me a stool, I'll bring the mic. That's all we need.
Don't shake the drinks.
Oh, you heard about the drink shaking?
Do you not know you call me and you tell me all these stories?
I don't remember anything, dude. I don't remember. Blessed thing. My brain is mush.
Yeah.
Mush. Yeah, the guy lied to me. Oh, I told you about that.
You told me about it.
Terrible lie. So that's the thing. I think it's funny. I was trying to write a bit about it. That I think the reason I gravitate so much to Chattanooga is I'm about like almost 6 years into comedy, and Chattanooga is about 6 years into being a real city. So we're both
that's fun.
We're both coming up at the same time.
That's good.
And so they're like, if you live in a city, you have to lie. You lie.
Yeah.
Chattanooga, they don't lie enough to be good liars. They lie, but they're there's like a Christian vein that runs
They're
through.
new.
They're new at lying. So the lies that they give me, I'm like, sweetheart, I'm a professional liar. I worked in the ad world for 25 years.
Right.
And you're going to give me these cockamamie off-the-shelf lies? I need bespoke, curated, well-crafted, handmade, small barrel, small batch lies. Not these...
They can't be in writing, too.
Oh, the writing was terrible.
You can't
and then he told me it was a
in
typo.
writing.
It was a paragraph of a lie. And then when I called him on it and shoved his face in his own dog shit and said, "Did you not write this email?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, that's a typo."
Yeah.
And I pulled him outside. I don't pull a lot of men anywhere. I mean, I was like, "You coming outside?" I'm still trying to get this guy fired. I haven't had luck yet.
You hold grudges.
Yeah.
What part of you do you think that is? You think it's more of the gay or the Jew?
I think it's the small. I think I
You
feel.
think it's the small?
I think I feel small and insignificant a lot.
Napoleon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And which I try to explore on Jason David's podcast, a mom who tried to put me up for adoption, so I feel unloved and unwanted. So I always have to kind of make myself be heard.
How old were you when you were put up for adoption?
I wasn't put up. My dad stopped it. 2.
Oh, it was a concept.
2.
2?
I was speaking at 2.
Yeah,
I had the personality.
You can't put up for adoption at 2.
And you can't let your child know that after 2. You take that secret to your grave.
Find out?
She told me.
She told you.
She told me.
Sober?
Yeah.
How does that come up? Wait. Well, make sure this is on camera.
What?
Okay, we're good.
It came up. It came up in conversation.
Yeah, so how does that come up in conversation? Like, what were you doing? What was the event you were doing where that comes up in
What, for her to put me up for adoption?
Yeah.
What, why'd she do it?
No, like how you were sitting around and she was like, "Hey, can you pass the horseradish and also we're going to put you up for adoption?"
I don't remember how she told me. I just remember I found out about it. And I know my dad put an end to it because he didn't want me to put up for adoption because he needed something to hit. So
he needs something to hit.
Yeah, he couldn't send me away because who am I going to hit if we said?
Oh, he needs something to hit. Okay, I got you. You have a brother.
Yeah, but he wasn't around yet, so it's like he needed something, and so I got to stay to get beaten around for another 4 years till my brother came along.
That's not bad.
No, so that might be why I hold grudges.
That might be a reason why.
Yeah, I'm very petty.
How old were you when she told you?
Oh, I guess like 25 or 26.
Wow.
So you're able to keep it secret for 24 years. Then she busted. She goes, "I got something to tell you."
And what? You just like walked down the stairs one morning? You were staying at their house?
Oh, we didn't have a split level. We were on one level house.
Ranch.
Plainview.
Yeah.
Plainview. No stairs.
Ranch.
Where are you from?
Syosset.
Oh, that's right. You seem Dix Hillsy.
Jewish?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
We were unpacking family wounds.
Okay, so she was like, "Your grandfather was an alcoholic, and I put you up for adoption, and your father's gay."
Well, what?
I don't know.
My dad's gay?
I never
I
met
think
him.
my uncle was gay, but I never met him. But supposedly I'm just like him. And he wasn't married. And he was in his late 40s.
And he moved
not
to Chattanooga.
married. And he moved to Chattanooga. Killed in a plane crash.
Killed in a plane crash.
Yeah.
Like the Big Bopper.
Yeah.
So,
It was a small plane.
small plane?
Mm-hmm. My dad doesn't let me go on small planes. It's the only thing my dad forbids me to do, even as an adult. I mean, it can't. I mean, I've agreed. So
Right.
And
Probably a good rule.
And I've had the opportunity, which is the weird thing, to be on a small, like, private plane.
Yeah.
And then I had to say no.
Because it's the rule.
Because I remember when the rule was made, I was like, how am I ever going to know anyone? I don't know anyone with a private plane. Sure, that's fine. I won't be on a small private plane. But then, you meet people as you go through life. And
Yeah.
you work at Facebook and you meet people who have
Right.
private
And you sit in the
planes.
same room as Mark Zuckerberg.
Sorry, Zuck, I can't go on the plane with you. Dad
Did
says
he
no.
offer?
No, he didn't even accept my friend request.
He did accept your friend request?
No.
You were in the same room as him on
Yeah.
a daily basis?
And one
he
guy I
didn't
worked with
accept?
at Facebook unfriended me while we worked together.
What?
And I marched over to his desk. I'm like, did you just unfriend me? He's like, we can still communicate on Messenger. I go, you unfriended me. We're working on a project together.
How can you unfriend while you work at Facebook?
Antonow. His name was Eric
Antonow?
Antonow. Eric Antonow.
What a bitch.
That's what I said. He didn't like me.
And back then, taking someone off Facebook as a friend was a big deal.
It really was not a good scene. Like, we were working on a project together, and he unfriended me. Did you cut yourself? What happened here?
Yeah, I hit my knee on the table there.
God.
What was the poke? Who's behind the poke? Who invented the poke?
I don't know who's behind the poke. I think, but the like button was an internal tool first. Soleil
Really?
designed the thumbs up, as I recall.
That's like such a... Like now, it seems like such a stupid thing. Like it's obvious
It changed
should have
the
been
internet.
there. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's so automatic. Like it's so a part of the zeitgeist.
Yeah, it's
of
the
civilization
It's
now.
the logo. It was the logo of when you drove down One Hacker Way. They changed the name of the street.
What was it now? Meta.
No, they changed it to Hacker Way. I don't know what it was before, but I don't know what it was before, but it became Hacker Way. The like button, because then not only did the like button get introduced to regular Facebook users, but then it was exported to sites all around the planet. So
Right.
that was a huge game changer for the downfall of society.
Yeah. To me, it's like a guy that's like, and I've invented water. It's like, well, yeah.
I think he's been taken care of pretty well.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
How is he not the wealthiest person in the world?
Soleil, I don't know how he's doing. We're not really. I think we're friends on Facebook, but we're not friendly.
It's got to, the like button globally has to be used more than Amazon.
Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe you're probably right.
Globally.
You're probably right.
In the U.S., maybe not, but globally, I would say yes.
All the places that it's embedded. Are you talking about the like button? Oh, then it's on Instagram as well.
Right.
Yeah.
It's on so many things.
And then you like articles on like the Washington Post or
Yep.
BuzzFeed or
Yep.
BuzzFeed had its own stickering system, LOL, and all that ridiculousness. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
what
saw-
was your title there?
Chief Creative Officer
You were Chief Creative Officer
Yeah.
of BuzzFeed.
for like 10 minutes.
Did you make the listicle?
No, I hated the listicle. When I went there, I told them I didn't want to be involved in any of that kind of stuff. I thought it was the equivalent of junk food.
Well, isn't that like BuzzFeed's brand, though?
Yeah, I made a mistake going there. I mean, I went there to do something very different. I went there. I was very clear about what me and my
What
team
were your intentions?
to do the types of things that I was doing outside of BuzzFeed on BuzzFeed. So basically, I was making these viral projects that were stimulating online conversation,
Right.
creating content, and that was getting lots of stories written about them. And so Jonah Peretti, who ran BuzzFeed, he made we knew each other. His sister is Chelsea Peretti.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah. And Jonah made some overtures about joining BuzzFeed. I'm like, listen, Facebook is my Shawshank crawl. I just have to get through this for 4 years, and I'm rich on the other side. Like, Facebook was never going to fire me. I wasn't a stellar employee, but like you get your reviews, and it's either not meeting expectations, exceeding expectations.
Yeah, usual.
I was always just meeting, which is kind of like you should wear more flair. Like, why don't you, 21 is the minimum amount of flair. Why don't you wear more?
Oh, is that really it?
It's
like
a little
wear more
bit,
Facebook merch? And
well, no, it's more like, you're meeting expectations, but is that all you want to do is meet expectations?
Oh, I got you.
Shouldn't
I
you
got you.
exceed I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I mean,
Right.
And so I was like, all right, I'm going to work here until I'm rich. And then BuzzFeed, Facebook sent me to New York to work for a month or two. They gave me this insane apartment.
You were in California.
I had already moved. I broke up with my boyfriend, got rid of my rent-stabilized apartment, moved to Palo Alto, and then after about 7 months, they go, we need you in New York for a couple of months.
Okay.
Go take an apartment. They put me like in this insane apartment, like a $7,000 a month apartment.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, all right. So I went to New York, and I kept checking in because I was a big Facebook user. I was a power user. And so I was checking in all these places in New York, and Jonah Peretti saw that I was in New York. He's like, we should go to lunch. I see you're in New York all the time. I go, we can go to lunch, but let's not have a conversation about me coming to BuzzFeed because I don't think that's going to happen. And then he made a really great pitch. He's like, listen, have you made anything for the year that you've been at Facebook now? I go, no. He's like, do you think you'll ever make anything? I go, no, I'm never going to. I mean, they've been pretty clear that everything I make, they go, interesting. Let's just put that in a box, like at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they put the tomb in this warehouse. All the ideas I had were just going to be stockpiled into this warehouse and never going to be used. And Jonah's like, why don't you come here and make those ideas and we'll distribute them? Like you're never going to make anything,
right?
And do you really want to spend the next 4 years of your life not making anything? And when he came along with a big bag of money for me and my friends who I got jobs for at the time, I was like, all right, this sounds. If something's too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
Right.
Yeah, it was not good.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm really glad that I don't work. That it all ended the way it ended, because if it hadn't, I would have found stand-up comedy.
That's what brought you into it, was BuzzFeed?
Well, after BuzzFeed, I became after losing my job and my title, and my identity was really connected to I felt really important that I had chief creative. Like, it felt like that was who I was.
And how big were they at the time? What was it?
Very
2014, 2015?
It was very big. Obama was talking about them.
Yeah,
Michael Bloomberg was coming down.
Yeah, this
to
is
the
a big
office.
thing.
I got to meet Grumpy Cat.
You met Grumpy Cat.
Yeah, that's how big it was.
Grumpy Cat at one point was the biggest media personality in the world.
He had an agent.
Did he really?
Yeah. He's dead now.
The agent or the cat?
Maybe both. I know the cat is.
Okay.
I think it was one of those relationships where one dies and the one dies a couple of days later.
Yeah, murder-suicide.
Yeah, and then I got very, very depressed, and then I found stand-up. And you.
Yeah, and me and all the other degens.
I don't lump you into the degens. They were degens. It was really funny. I remember some show I did in the East Village at Easy Lover with some people that we knew from Climate, and some friends from like my corporate life came to this show, and they had an intervention with me afterwards. They're like, all right, this is enough.
Yeah.
They go, what are you doing? You've only got like maybe 8 more years of being able to make money, and you're going to talk in basements with these insane people.
It's not even the basement part that's the problem. It's like you saw who else did it with you.
Yeah. They're like, what is wrong? Like, do you need a job? We'll get you a job. I'm like, no. I wouldn't even be able to hold a job. This is what it takes to get good, I think. You have to go through this stage. I'm still in it. I still go to open mics, obviously. And some of the people are insane. Legitimately insane.
I
mean, they're mentally ill and they're not medicated properly. And they show up with a microphone.
We talk about it a lot on this podcast. I don't think people fully comprehend how insane these people are.
And delusional. And then there's the people who are just, that's what's so insane to me, is that the people with no talent are the most confident. And the people who have tons of talent constantly question themselves.
Yep.
Like, I think I did okay yesterday, but like all morning and last night, I'm like, oh, what am I doing? And then I see people who can't even really construct a coherent thought, and they treat you like that you should be lucky to speak to them.
Oh yeah,
it's a level of self-gaslighting that is, I don't know. I don't know if it's scary or if it's beautiful. I don't know. I respect it. I admire these people's confidence in themselves, and it's something I wish I could reflect upon myself. But things happen. There are benchmarks that you make. People give you more time. You get into bigger rooms. And for someone like me, there's always a reason to excuse it away. Oh, it's because I run a show. Oh, it's because there's always some reason to deflect anything good that happens. But there are good things that are happening. And I'm looking at these other people. I'm like, nothing's happening. You're doing the same material for a year now, and you're not booked anywhere, and you're not invited onto anything. Doesn't it make you pause and go, maybe this is not the right path for me? It never does.
No, but in their defense, there is no other path.
That might be possible.
That's kind of why.
And then they might have different goals and reasons for doing it. They might not want to matriculate through the entertainment industry to do it for a living. They might just, some people go to karaoke and they don't want to be in a band and they don't want to sing.
Right.
They just want to have that moment of feeling like a star. And if that's what they want, that's great. I just wish there was a different room for them to do it in. From, like when you go to the pool and there's like the geriatric people and the thing, and then there's like we're doing lane swimming here. We can't have people with floaties in here. A lot of floaties.
Lot of floaties.
There's a lot of floaties.
But what are you going to do?
But I tried to find a way to learn from them too. I remember how angry I used to be sitting in that Climat room. And I remember one of our friends was like, you seem so incredibly unhappy. Do you realize you're going to be sitting in these rooms for over a decade? You've got to find a way to make it enjoyable for yourself. Because it's only 5 minutes that you're up there. And, at the time, you spend an hour and a half waiting for your 5 minutes.
Maybe longer.
You have to find a way to make that hour and a half somewhat enjoyable. Otherwise, you'll stop.
Yeah.
And wind up on a couch.
Yeah, that's why I stopped. Because I remember it was like almost a year ago when I went to do a mic at Joey Bat's in the Lower East Side.
Was it Jared Schwartz?
No, it was Nico Pavlovich.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I went up there and I grabbed the mic and I look out and one person's looking at me. It's probably 20 people there and everyone else is looking in a different direction. Mm-hmm. I started a sentence and then I realized no one's listening. I said, you know what? I'm never doing this again. I just said that into the mic and I gave it back to Nico and I walked. I just left.
Look at you.
And it felt like I kicked addiction.
Wow.
It felt really good.
You felt liberated.
It felt extremely liberating.
And you became happier.
Substantially. Because I looked around and I saw I knew all 20 people.
Did anybody hear you say that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they actually heard me say that. But I looked at all of them. I was like, I know like you're all homeless or close to it. And I can't even get the respect of homeless people.
Yeah, dude, I get it, but you know so many people who are not like that. We can rattle down a list of 20 people that you can call in 2 minutes who would answer the phone who are very, very talented people. So you do know some very talented people.
I know very talented people, but also most of even those talented people aren't doing fantastic.
Nah, they're doing good.
I hope so.
Come on.
They deserve it.
Menno, Nick Tellelli, doing very well.
They're artistically, yes.
Yeah. Well, what else is there to do? This is the time to do the artistic baking.
Nah.
Jason Choi.
Jason's doing well.
Okay.
But also Jason is a cloud programmer.
Oh.
He's a smart kid.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone else is intelligent as well. But it gets to a point where you got to go, okay, I could still do comedy, but I also need to make money.
Mm-hmm. Steve Malloy?
Steve Malloy's doing a fantastic job with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's avenues to do it.
All right.
It's not being a part of the community.
Okay.
You know what I realized? Because we were talking about Seinfeld, Jeff.
What's it?
We were talking about Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You watch Seinfeld.
I do every day.
Have you noticed he outwardly disrespects comics?
Like Kenny Bania?
He hates Kenny Bania.
And he hates the prop comic.
He hates him. And he openly talks shit about him.
Yeah.
He doesn't respect comics. He wrote a whole show about how much he hates the scene.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm supposed to, that's the best show ever, especially in comedy. And I'm supposed to embrace the scene.
And there's the guy who goes to see Rochelle with, do you eat fish? Yes, I eat fish.
I eat fish.
Yeah, all right. You're right. You know what? You've changed my mind.
Well, at least with the Seinfeld reference. But it's like I'm looking at it, and it's like the strip is going under, right?
Oh no! I thought Jerry was gonna.
You're hitting on my point. You would think Seinfeld would come and save it.
He said he was going to.
You would think Eddie Murphy would come and save it, but comedy's the only industry where no one comes back to the
Amy
community
Poehler didn't
once
save
they
UCB,
make- right?
and that made her with a signature of one check. She could have saved that thing.
Because they make you go through such shit that you're like, you know what? You need me? Nah, it wasn't. It's not worth it.
So the comic strip is going away.
It's up for rent.
Why don't you buy it?
Oh, because I saw the sticker price.
What's the sticker price? How much is it?
$35 for a month. Per month.
Oh, but to own the logo and the name and all the other stuff.
Oh, I don't know how much that would go for.
Oh, okay.
But
Wait,
yeah, it's like
$35,000 a month.
$35,000 a month.
Oh.
It's a lot.
Wait, and that's with the liquor license isn't transferable.
Oh, I don't know about that. It probably isn't.
No. I've been asked to buy a comedy club in Chattanooga.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
wow, we really went over.
We went over. Oh, I have to get to.
You have a thing, right?
I have a thing.
Okay, we'll wrap it up.
Are we wrapped?
We'll wrap.
We're wrapped. And now, so what? You edit out the best parts and make me look smart.
I don't know if I'll make you look smart, but I'll edit
no.
out. I'm gonna edit out some stuff.
And the part where we embrace, is that going to be left in?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay. That was good.
Oh.
That was the only episode I've ended in a hug. That was nice.
Yeah, you should have more gay people on.
Mark
Benjamin.
he was on.
He didn't hug you?
Didn't hug me.
You got to get your money back.
He drank a coffee the whole time. It was a small coffee, and he never finished it.
It's
All
a barrier between him and intimacy.
Maybe, but he's happy now.
Very. He's on the show, though. He's coming down.
He's on the show
With Mia Faith Hammond and Adam Christopher. And
Love
Steve Malloy.
Christopher.
And Steve Malloy. Hot lineup.
He has a hot lineup.
Why don't you come down and be part of a hot lineup? Why don't you pick the people that you'd like to spend a weekend with in Tennessee and just come do a show? It doesn't mean you're back in comedy. It just means you're coming to Tennessee to hang out with a couple of people you like.
Yeah.
Nah.
We'll see. All right.